Hi, my name is Jason Gom. I am in FTT 211, the 1911 Armors course. This is my week one assignment. Today is April 1st, 2023, and my instructor is Mr. Minato. I don't know how to say his first name. This week, my assignment is I got a two-part in this video. The first one, I'll be conducting my outside research of the 1911, and I'm going to be talking about two interesting facts regarding the history of the 1911 that weren't discussed this week in the lecture this week. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the 1911 came about after the Colt had designed the 1910 that had been used in the previous wars before World War One. There was a lot of need for a pistol that that was semi-automatic, that could shoot faster than a revolver. They designed the 1910. And then after some feedback from the troops, they came up with the 1911, which was the single stacked 7 round magazine semi-automatic pistol that we see today. Today's pistol has been undergone years of R&D and improvements compared to what they were back when they were first made in World War One, or seen heavy action in World War One. Uh, some of the interesting facts that weren't talked about is some of the first troops that used them regularly were the cavalry troops, and they were fitted with an improved grip and a lanyard hold on there. So because you know if you don't want to be riding your horse and fighting and dropping your weapon, so they'd have that improved grip so you could hold on to it. And then the second one would be that lanyard hold, where that lanyard hold could be tied down to your belt or to your wrist with a lanyard, and you wouldn't lose your weapon. The other fact is up until about the 80s, the U.S. military used it until they decided to switch to 9mm, which left a lot of people upset. But it was a smart move in my opinion, and that will be talked about in part two. We're going to go into part two, and it says here in recent years, the military seemed to change its mind once again regarding the cartridge they would like in their personnel to use in battle. They switched from the 45 ACP to the 9mm parabellum cartridge. Why did they do this? So, me being an infantryman for forever, uh, our mantra was ounces equal pounds, and you don't want to be, you know, humping around lots and lots of weight. We already were carrying ammunition, we're carrying water, we're carrying food. Uh, a few magazines of 9mm weighed a lot less than it would be with 45. Another thing would be 45, you could fit 7 in a magazine, whereas with our 9mm, the Berettas that we were carrying before the SIGs came, we got the SIGs, you could 15 rounds in a magazine. So you had basically double what you would have had if you were carrying a 1911 as a sidearm. Uh, we all know that 9mm wasn't it. It was okay back in the 80s and 90s, but with the advances in technology today, the 9mm it does very well. There's a reason why most law enforcement outfits, most three-letter agencies, and the military is using 9mm is because it still packs quite a punch when needed in close quarters. Also, the cost effectiveness is quite a bit cheaper than a 45. I mean, we can see that when we go to the stores and we go to buy ammunition. Uh, a box of 9mm is going to cost you about $14 for 50, whereas a box of 45 for I'd say 20 is going to cost you uh, $17, $18. So that with the military switching over, that was going to cost them a good chunk of money in the long run to fill up the caches and the armories and everything for the reserves. My sources for this were the SDI uh, lectures this week. I didn't see a name on it. I just it's just that 1911 went over the ancestral history of the 1911 this week, and then I also used Browning's website, the Browning.com history of the 1911 pistol, and then for the 9mm versus 45 part of the discussion, I was using ammo.com comparison 9mm to 45, which was I didn't see a name on there either as well. This is my assignment for this week. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with my next week's assignment.